Very interesting experience. Yeah, a lot of so my friends worked at that one. Alright. Let's see. 6 people in the stream. Who's in? Where's my chat? Alright. Jinhong. Sunjae. Oh, 2 Sunjaes. Isabella. Who else? We got 6 people watching, and 1, 2, 3. Oh, you're watching on 2 phones? That's funny. Anna. I see. Okay. Sophia. All right. Let's see. How's everyone doing? Everybody having a good week with no school? Are you taking online classes at your school also? I don't know how it's going. Staying safe, wearing masks. Let's see. I can't see any of you. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people here. Okay. I'm not sure who else to. I'm gonna check with Michelle how many people I should expect. I'm not sure exactly. What else? Good. Jinho's doing good. Glad to hear it. Feel free to tell me a little bit more. Okay, let me check with Michelle. How many students should I expect? Okay, so no one comes to Hi, it's Sophia. Good, yes. Hiri's here. What is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? What does that mean? Wait, how about the camera? You mean this camera? Hello, everybody. Welcome to my live stream. I feel like YouTube influencer. Hello. Hello, hello. Paul is here too. Good. Okay. So we have 7 people in. No one from Pluto is here yet. Where's the teacher? Are you saying I'm not the teacher? I'm the teacher. All right. Welcome to. All right. So you see me now. All right. Good. Okay. There's a pretty long lag in between like what I do and what you see on the camera. There's maybe like 10 or 15 seconds, something like that. So you just have to wait a little bit. Everything's a little bit delayed. Okay. So we're still waiting for a couple people from Pluto. Today's our first day streaming, so starting a little bit late, I guess. Hope you're all doing well. So much orange in the chat. So many people have orange icons. Where's my G5 book? Everybody make sure you have your LAT book. Take your LAT book out. You're gonna need that. So that we're gonna be using this today. Get that ready. Make sure you also have a notebook, have some paper and a pencil. We're going to be doing some of that today too. Phone is slow. Everybody's phone is slow, right? There's a lag going on. So it'll take like 10, 15, maybe sometimes 20 seconds to hear what I'm saying. So everything's going to be pretty delayed. Actually, it seems like the lag might be 30 seconds. I'm watching. Okay. Where are our Pluto students? Okay, when you join the stream, say hi on the chat. When you join the stream, we got 10 people in the stream. Make sure when you join the stream, say hi in the chat so I know that you're there. I'm waiting for a couple students. Jenny, Crystal, are you there? Ten people, Genome. Getting famous in here. Press like and subscribe. Join my YouTube channel. I'm just kidding. Everybody hear me well? We're still waiting for our other students. Gotta take attendance. Gotta know who's here. Say something on the chat. Give us your name. I can't see who's watching just by watching, so you have to go on the chat and say, I don't know, Crystal, Jenny, are you there? No Pluto people yet. Subscribed. Wow, Genome, 2 fan. #1 fan of E-Specialists. Appreciate it. Alright, you can hear me well, Isabel. Good. Let's see what else. Complete. Better than talk to senses. Sophia, yes. Excellent. You can hear me. There's only like 5 people. Says something on the chat, but 9 people are watching. Where is everybody else? What are you all doing? Where is my Pluto students? Where are my Pluto students? So no yawning in class. We're just waiting for a couple other people. See, there's 10 people watching, but only 5 people talking. Come on. If you are here, please introduce yourself on the chat so I can see. Crystal is here. Good. Hello, Crystal. Good. Is Jenny here? Jenny, are you present? You're all in different classes, so you might not all know each other. Here it is turning off and on the phone. Oh no. Having problems with the stream? Okay. Anyway, like I said before, make sure you take out your LAT book. We're going to start with your LAT book. Okay? LAT book. We'll do some grammar and some writing today. Yeah, Jino, what's your... Wait, Jino, you saw my last class? What does that mean? You were watching my stream for the G4 class? Okay, I guess maybe Jenny's not here. Jenny's not here then. You are teacher? Yes, I am the teacher. That's my name. Oh, I haven't taught some of you before. My name is Declan. I'm your teacher. Yes, every computer is a little bit slow. Like I said before, there is a lag. So if I talk right now, I say something, you will hear me, or you are hearing me about 30 seconds late. So it's pretty slow like that. So you just have to be patient with it. I think the chat's a little bit faster. I think I see the chat soon after you chat. But it takes you a little bit of time to hear me and see me. Okay? Alright. We're going to start with the LAT. LAT, we're going to do page 2. LAT page 2. Okay? Let me double check I have this. Where's my G5 PDF? Okay, never mind, not page 2. We're pre-writing. Oh, personal narrative also. Oh. Okay, we're also doing personal narrative here. Good, we'll do that. Okay. LAT. No, not 2. Change my mind. LAT page 7. Everybody, LAT page 7. Okay. Let's see, so I can show you here. Okay. Everybody see this. LAT page 7. Yes, I am the teacher. Hi. Yes, I am the teacher. My name is Declan. Okay. Okay, here. We're going to start with this LAT page 7. We're going to start with a little bit of writing. Okay? We're going to do that first. Pre-writing, using a graphic organizer. Now, graphic is kind of like a picture. Organizer, you know what that is, okay? To organize our ideas. Here we're talking about a personal narrative. I wonder if I can do this so I can draw. Ooh, can I do this? A good personal, that doesn't look good. I want to be a smaller pen. Smaller pen. A good ooh, nice. A good personal narrative has a clear beginning, middle, and ending. We say personal narrative. Some of you have probably heard this before. Personal means about you. Narrative means a story. Let me write that here. How can I do that? Tools, text. Okay. Oh, what's going on? Doesn't work. Let me try again. Annotate. Text. Personal narrative means personal story. Okay. Something that you have experienced. A clear beginning, middle, and ending. Just like all stories. The beginning should have the conflict or the problem. The middle should retell the important events, and the ending should state the resolution. This is kind of like all stories. All stories should have a clear beginning, middle, and ending. Well, when we get into really long stories, like books, it's not so true. But in short stories, they all generally have a clear beginning, middle, and ending. They have the same kind of shape. And we've talked about this before. Let me switch back to my camera. Okay. When we look at so many files. I know I have so many files, it's true. A lot of stuff I'm always working on. Okay. So here, let me erase this. You will see the board clearly. Whoa. What's happening? Oh no. Wait, something went wrong with the projector screen. Hold on. Something strange is going on. Not sure what to do about it. I'm gonna have to turn this off and on back again. Unplug and replug it back in. Okay, good. We're back. We had a problem with the second screen. Okay, we're back again. Okay, so here. Can you all see the board? All see the board clearly? Okay, here. My computer's wearing down. Okay. So we talk about stories pretty often. Can you make the screen bigger? What does that mean? Like this? Can I make this bigger? What this? You see that? Okay. Oh, it's probably lagged. You probably said that before I made the screen bigger. Okay. Good. So here we have the board. And it's kind of a reflection. Where's the reflection? Reflection is this part. Right over here. Something on this here. Alright. So we talk about stories pretty often. We often talk about stories, we analyze stories, and we write stories. Really important that we understand stories and how stories work. Usually when we talk about stories, we draw a shape kind of like this. This is pretty common. Maybe I should make this a little sharper. But we can usually break a story into 3 pieces. Like we have the beginning, middle, and the end. Okay. Can you see that? You guys can probably see that, right? Oh, my phone is slow. Okay. Yeah. Alright. So the beginning here, which we also call sometimes the exposition, is where we learn about the situation, right? In the exposition, we have some important things we have to cover. We have to cover who are the characters. In a personal narrative, you will be a character, and there will be other characters too, probably. Okay. We also learn the setting. Setting is where and when, as you know. We also learn what I like to call the situation. Okay. We have to kind of know a little bit. It's like the setup for the conflict. Right? We don't always know the whole problem, but sometimes we learn a little bit of the conflict. But it's the situation before the conflict, maybe the beginning of the conflict. We have to understand what's going to happen. If I'm telling a story about, a story is about me riding a roller coaster or me going bungee jumping. That's the story I'm trying to tell. The conflict is that I'm nervous about bungee jumping. I can't just talk in the beginning about me and my friends or playing and eating cereal for breakfast and nothing to do with bungee jumping. And then in the middle of the story, we introduce the problem of bungee jumping. It doesn't really make sense. We want to have this situation, a kind of setup about what is related to our problem in the beginning. Okay? It's very important. Beginning is very important. We want the beginning of our story to be interesting. We have to know. Can't see the chat. That's fine. I can see the chat. That's what's important. You can chat. You can see the chat. Do you want me to make this a little smaller? Then you won't be able to see as well. Like that. Okay. What was I talking about? We want to make the beginning of the story very interesting. The beginning of the story is not interesting. Nobody's going to like the story. And if I open up a book, I'm at the library, I'm looking at a book, I'm going to look at the first 5 pages. If I read the first 5 pages and I'm bored, I'm not going to finish the book. It's not fun, right? If my job... Don't die doing bungee jumping? Oh. No, I went bungee jumping. It was really fun. It was really fun. Maybe when you're older, you can try it. If you look at the beginning of the story and it's not fun, then no one's going to like the story, right? If my job is to read stories, maybe I work at a college or a school and I'm reading people's application essays, and I start the story and it's boring, it's no fun. Like, the beginning of the story has to be interesting. You can't just say where you are, what the setting is, what the situation conflict is. You want to raise questions. And I just talked about this with my other class too, right? If I tell you a story, I'm going to tell you a story about my brother, okay? I can give you a character setting. Okay, so my brother is in a room sitting on a chair, okay? Not an interesting beginning because we don't feel it. We don't understand what's happening. We don't see it. We don't really know. There are no questions that we have. He could be sitting in the kitchen. He could be sitting in a bedroom. He could be sitting anywhere watching TV. We don't know. Right? We want our situation to answer or to give us questions. Something that we don't understand or something that we don't know what's going to happen. We call that tension. So if I, for example, tell the beginning of a story, my brother is sitting in a small, cold room in the basement of a police office, sitting on a hard metal chair under a dim orange light, alone, and he's laughing. Now we have the beginning of a story. Right? We have the characters, the setting, and we have some questions. We want to know what's happening. If he's just sitting in the chair in a room, we have no questions. We have no interest in this story. But if he's sitting in the basement of a police office and he's laughing, now we have questions. We want to answer these questions. We want to keep reading to find out why. What did my brother do? Why is he laughing in the basement of a police office? If he's just sitting there and maybe he's sad, then maybe that's not a lot of questions. We kind of know what's happening, right? We know he probably did something bad and so he's in the police station. That's a pretty easy situation. He's laughing and we have more questions. We don't really know what's happening. Okay? So it's important that the beginning of your story, it has these elements. We want characters, setting, the situation, conflict, and then we want these things. We want to raise questions, and we want to have description also. Okay. Oh, Yeah, you should probably be taking notes, right? You're going to have writing homework. Your homework's going to be writing, and I want you to try using these elements, these things that we learned here, when you write the beginning of your story. So I think it takes a little bit of time to see, because my computer is slow. Okay, yes, you should be taking notes. You should write these things down. Can you see it okay? Tim says, I don't think we have to take notes. You should. Okay. This is the beginning of the story. Now, every story has a conflict. Every story needs to have a problem. A story without a problem is not a story at all. It's no fun. If I go to a restaurant with my friends and we eat some delicious food and we're happy and then I go home and sleep, that's not a story because there's no problem. For a story to be interesting, it has to have a problem. Okay? So that's really important that when you're coming up with a story, we need to have a problem like that. One thing I want you to do is, how many hours does this class do? How many hours long is this class? How long is this class? This class is 2 hours. So the class is supposed to go from 5:40 to 7:30. Okay, so 7:30. Yes, you should take notes on this tonight. Okay. So here we're talking about, back to our, here, you can copy that first. We're talking about a personal narrative. So we're talking about a story about your life. Something that you experience and you're writing in first person, talking about I, me, right? Like that. We need to think of an idea, right? Everybody, your writing assignment, like I said, your writing is going to be about this first person narrative, personal narrative story. So you have to think of an idea for your story. What are you going to write about? You have to think of some sort of experience that's happened. Maybe you learned something from it. Maybe it was a challenge. Maybe you changed when it happened, right? Something like that. We have to think about a situation like that, come up with an idea, and then we'll make a quick outline, okay? So first things first, I want you guys, after you take your notes, I want you to do that. I want you to write down in the chat. In the chat, I'll write it in the chat. In the chat here, please tell us the topic of personal narrative you will write. So everybody come up with an idea. Tell us. Okay. Characters, setting, situation, conflict, resolution. Kind of like an outfit. Okay. Okay, did everybody copy that down? We're going to continue and do the middle and end after we start with the beginning. I want everybody to first tell us about the beginning of your story. Okay. We want to have this general idea. Think of a situation. I can think of mine. Like I said, I was talking about bungee jumping. I think that's a good one. It's an interesting story. I went bungee jumping. So here, I'll give my example. I'll type it in the chat. I want you to. Example. Okay. Characters. Me. My friends. Ahmed. Grace. Setting. Zambia. What is early morning situation is try it. Okay. So here's an example. It's like this. Conflict could be then right. So here's my example up here. Okay. I made $10. $10 by 10, 500. Add 2. Okay. It's like this. This is my example here. I wrote my example in the chat. I wrote the characters, the setting, which is the place and time, the situation of what's happening there, the conflicts, and then the resolution. Okay? I want everybody to come up with a personal narrative. Think about a story in your life, some sort of problem, thing that happened that you can share, you can write your homework on. Okay? We're going to be working through this together. Okay? The conflict is the problem in the story. The conflict is whatever the problem is. What does somebody want but can't have? Or somebody's fighting with somebody else, or somebody's fighting with themselves, right? Could be a storm, could be a conflict. It's the problem in the story. Yes, you do need to make something out of your memory, something from experience. Okay, Sunjay, good at claw machine, huh? Alright, Sunjay's good at claw machine. Sunjay, what is the conflict in your story? What problem is in your story? Alright guys, make your outline. Tell us like this, so we have an idea. I can help you with it. Ooh, that's a good one. Seeing a ghost. That's a very good one. So make sure you fill that in then. Okay. Tell me about that, Katie. Tell me about the characters, the setting, the situation, the conflict resolution of that experience when you saw the ghost. Okay, that's a good topic. That's a good part of the story. We want to fill that in. Where did you see the ghost? What was the setting? What was happening around that time? What were you doing when you saw the ghost? Okay, we have to build it into a story, not just one thing that happened. All right. Seems you got some conflict in your story. Good. All right, everybody, come on. Send it. Send it on the chat. This is your in-class work. Come up with a story. Fill it in, just like I did. Come on, send it so I can see. And after you send it, then we can talk more about your story. We can talk more about organizing and writing a story. All right, good start, Jinhong. What's the conflict in your story? All right, Jinhong. Sure, that makes sense. And the last no. So make sure, okay, we have to make it into a story. Think about what kind of details, what kind of questions can you give at the beginning of your story. But remember, the beginning of your story should raise questions in the reader. When the reader reads the beginning of your story, they should feel many questions. Okay. Some people are not answering on the chat. And this is necessary, it's mandatory. You need to answer these questions in the chat, okay? Crystal, got to answer in the chat. Who else did not answer in the chat? Want to hear everybody's. Sophia, what's your story? Hey, Sophie. Still. Who else did not answer? All did not answer. A cat who fought the bad cat and went missing? This has to be a story from your... Well, it has to be a story about your real life. That happened in your real life, Isabel? A cat fought a bad cat and went missing? Are you the cat? Or is it your cat? Crystal, I almost burned my house, but your friend helped me so fire went out. Ooh, that's a good story. That's really scary. Almost burning down your house. Ghost is also scary. Right, we've got some good stories coming together. We've got some good stories coming together. Okay. Okay, Sophia, character me, my friend, setting an amusement park night. Okay, Sophia, what's the conflict in your story? What's the problem in your story? Oh, it really happened. A cat. Thought a bad cat went missing. Okay, but this has to be a personal narrative. This has to be something you experienced. Oh, a cat that you knew. Oh, okay. I guess that kind of makes sense then. Cat that you knew. That makes sense. But make sure you make the story. It's a personal story, so you have to tell it like I and me, things like that. It's a personal narrative. Okay. So it looks like we're pretty good. Okay, except for I want to hear the conflict in Sophia's. And then I guess we'll continue. I still haven't heard. So conflict is we have to go to a haunted house, but I do not want to go. Ooh, that's a good one. I don't want to go to a haunted house either. That sounds scary. I don't like haunted house. When I go to my home, I saw a woman ghost. When I see one more time, there's nothing. Ooh, also scary. Also scary. Yes. Yes. There was a ghost living in my apartment once too. But it wasn't a very scary ghost. It was actually a very friendly ghost. I like it. Okay. So we'll continue then. We want to our graphic organizer then. We want to kind of see how can I split this one. Let's show your display camera G5 here. Your display capture here. Okay. So here, graphic organizer, like we were talking about. Right. It's kind of like an outline. This is a very simple graphic organizer. A very simple graphic organizer, but it's very useful. You have the beginning, the middle, and ending kind of things you want to have here. It's so simple that it's not very useful to us right now. Okay. Instead, we're going to go to the next page. Okay. Page 8. Now this is important. We're going to plan the beginning of your story now. Like I said, beginning has to be interesting. It has to grab the reader's attention. Let me read this for you. An effective beginning should draw readers in, making them want to read more. Effective beginnings grab the reader's attention by using descriptive details, an interesting fact, or a dramatic scene. Should introduce the conflict and reveal how the writer feels about the topic. Okay, so this sort of thing is very important. Alright, Jinhong, yes, you can go. You can go. Make sure you read this page when you come back. Okay. So here we had the beginning of the story. We understand these things. So here we have this here. My two best friends were excited about learning to snowboard. I'm in, I said, not wanting to be left out. When we were actually in the snow at the top of the hill, with both feet strapped to snowboard, I was secretly shaking. Shaking because she or he is nervous. I've always wanted to be athletic, but uncoordinated is my middle name. Uncoordinated means you're not very good at moving, or maybe not good at sports or dance, things like that. Okay? So here we have a nice, exciting story. Right? We have the characters, the narrator, and the two best friends. We have the setting on top of the hill going snowboarding. We have the situation where the character is going snowboarding, learning snowboarding, first time snowboarding, and is nervous. Okay? And here is our central conflict, right? Wanting to be athletic, but is not athletic. Okay? From this here we have some descriptions, right? Like a feet strapped into the snowboard and secretly shaking. This helps us picture the action, helps us see what is happening. We also have some questions that rise up. Okay? It says here, I want to be athletic. Uncoordinated is my middle name. Snowboarding, when you don't know how to snowboard, can be very dangerous. I've hurt myself many times snowboarding. I hit my head, I smashed my face. There's a lot of blood. It was not good. So it's kind of scary if you're snowboarding if you haven't snowboarded very often, if you're not good at snowboarding, right? So the question that comes up when we read this, remember we talked about the question is what makes the story interesting. We want to know what's going to happen next. Is this character going to successfully go down the hill? Are they going to like snowboarding? Or are they going to fall really hard and break their leg or hit their head, something like that? This is what we want to know. This is the big question in this story, and that's why this is interesting. I want to know what happens next. This kind of curiosity makes the story fun and interesting. Okay? If you have any questions, write the questions here. Write the questions on the chat. Can I just write about going to the BTS concert? If there is a major conflict about it, I guess you can. There's something bad about going to the BTS concert? I've never been to a BTS concert. I guess you can if it's a good story, but remember it has to have a conflict. It has to have a problem. Are you anti? Is that why it's a problem? You're fighting with the army, something like that? You're going to the BTS concert because you don't like BTS? What is the problem in your story? That's what we have to know. Okay? Now, we've talked about the beginning here. We've talked about drafting the beginning. Now, I want you all to start the beginning of your story. I want you to think about what kind of descriptive details, what kind of interesting fact or dramatic scene can you start your story with? You want to start maybe with some action or some dramatic scene, right? This is dramatic. We want to know what's happening. We want to introduce the conflict and show how you feel about it, right? So we want to have that here. In the beginning of your story, we want to understand what's happening. Okay? Okay. Oh, it's already 6:30. Okay, we're gonna have a 10-minute break from 6:30 to 6:40. No, we'll have a break. After the break, then you can write it. Okay? Or you can write it now and take a break later. No, actually you can't. Break will be right now. We have a 10-minute break. Just back to the board. 10-minute break, and then we will. How do I get back to this? 10-minute break, and we'll come back to this. Then we'll start your beginning then, and we'll talk about it. Okay. Break from what is this? 6:30 to 6:40. Okay. Got it? Good. Have a good break. I see YouTube, Webtoon. Yeah, I'm sure you can. Break time. You do what you want. Make sure you're back by 6:40. I feel like I'm doing mukbang. Everybody's watching my live stream. Hi, welcome to my channel. Click subscribe and like. Eat some ASMR mukbang. I'm going to eat this kimbap. break time.
Some water.
I know I'm talking so much.
You look tired.
I look
so you have concern about you.
I look tired.
Yeah. She said that you look tired.
No.
Did you write a break?
Yeah, I wrote a break. I was up last night working on some projects. Went to bed at like 5 o'clock last night or something.
Oh, really?
Tired. Trying to do this. I'm writing a book with a friend. We're doing so
What kind of book?
It's a children's book, actually.
So. In America?
Yeah.
Kind
of. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but kind of stuff. So.
Is it fiction?
It's fiction. Just for fun, see if it goes. Alright, everyone's back from break, it looks like. Alright, Hailey's back. Isabel's back. Where's Jinhong? Where's Crystal? Where is Sunjae? Where is Sophia? Where is... Who else is here? Paul. Where is... Is that everyone? That's everyone. Anyone else here? Everybody say hi when you're here. Hailey, what's up? I'm here. There is other teacher? Sophia's here. Crystal's here. Good, everyone's back. Is that everyone? I think everyone's back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 students today? Alright. Good. Everything's a little bit late, so just a hi. Hi, 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 hi. I think that's everyone. Alright, so let's get back into it. We are talking about your story, the middle of your story. Oh no, we were talking about the beginning of your story. Yeah, we didn't get to the middle yet, right? We're just starting to talk about the beginning, right? So we read this one here about the snowboard. Let me switch the view. We talked about this one here about the snowboarding, right? Starting with this kind of action, this kind of tension. You know, what is that? Yeah. Hey. No, don't do that. Okay. We were talking about this kind of action, right? Starting right on top of the snow hill. It gives us a question of what's going to happen. We don't really know, that sort of thing. Okay, we want to start. It's a very common way to start stories in this way. Start with this action. Start with this drama, so that the reader gets interested right away about what's going to happen next. Okay, it's a good way to start your story. Maybe you should try that for your story, okay? So let's try that with your story. Okay, everybody write the beginning of your story. Right? The opening scene, we say. The beginning of your story. How is your story going to start that's going to make us interested? Okay, I'm going to give you a timer to finish your story. I wish I could start a timer easily, not a break. I'm going to give you, okay? Write the opening of your story by, how much time should I give you? Give you 7 minutes. By 6:50, okay? By 6:50, finish your story. Or not finish your story, finish the opening of your story by 6:50. And send it on the chat, okay? I can write the opening to my story too. How small? Well, I should say, write the opening of your story. Write it first on paper. Write on paper, revise, then send on the chat. Okay? Where are my pen? Where's my pen? Should be 20 minutes. You want 20 minutes, you know? Write your story. Going to be done by. So I give you until 7 o'clock. It's just the opening. Maybe just like 6 sentences or something. When I say opening of the story, let me show you what I mean. Okay, I'm talking about this. This, okay? Oops. This is what I mean when I say the opening of the story. Okay. This is what I mean. Oh, no. I want you to write it on paper first to know. I'm excited to read everybody's openings. Remember, your opening should be exciting. It should give us questions. It should have description. So it makes us want to read more. You know, you have to think of an opening. Think about your situation in your conflict. Okay. So you're talking about there, you're going to see the last snow. So think about some kind of action or drama about what's happening, right? What's happening in your job. How many lines should I write? Well, here's an example of an opening. It can be it can be about this length. This is probably a good length. It introduces the characters and the setting and the situation. It can be a little bit longer, a little bit shorter than this. I think this is a good example of a short opening. This. So Jinung, think about your situation. Think about what's happening in your story, and try to introduce all those things in the opening. All right, we have a couple here already. New mom setting concept. I was so excited because the cheers on. There are some cheering tool I needed, and also my mom says yes about planning things. I want to. My goodness, got fire in my house. That stuck by me. I was curious about really paper burn and disappear. Then I lit the paper. It made. All right. So here we have some introductions, some openings. Gonna wait for the other people. Let's wait for everybody to submit first. Okay, if you sent in your opening, then keep writing more. Continue on past that into the rest of the story. Everybody else, think of some opening and send it in. Mm. All right, Katie, that seems like a bigger problem. Good. Got some conflict in it. Crystal's got a conflict in it. One thing I'll say is that these kind of feel like a summary of the story. You're kind of explaining what happened, but you're not really giving us details. You're not really showing us the scene. Can't really feel where you are. There's no dialogue, there's no speaking. In the opening, you should try to have at least a little bit of dialogue. You should have the characters talking a little bit. Okay, that makes us feel like we're there, like we're understanding the characters. Otherwise, it kind of feels like dialogue. Okay, Crystal has a little bit of dialogue where she's talking to herself in her opening, and it's nice. I like that. But I think your story goes a little bit too fast. This opening here goes right from curious, and then you start the fire, and you have the fire. It's a little bit too fast in the opening. We want to have some drama, but we don't want to go so fast. We want to build slowly so that we have tension. We have to have questions about what's going to happen, little by little. A little bit too fast. Okay? Also, Hieri, similar. You're going really fast here in your story. What's happening here? About the cheering tool. I'm saying concert. Okay. Oh, alright. So tell it like a story. Don't start by saying character, me and mom, setting, concert. Just write it like a story, right? Just like this opening here, or my two best friends. They don't say characters, me and my best friend, setting, snowboard hill. They don't say that. They don't write that. We see it in the story. Okay. We just see it written in. Kind of a similar thing. Okay, write it into your story. So I just enjoyed the concept. All right. Good. Okay. That's like your whole story, Katie. That's the whole story. I want just the beginning of the story. It's a good story. Nice story. You have the conflict and the resolution. It's good. But we want to have just the beginning of the story. This is just the very, very beginning about what's going to happen. Today I decided we're that's why I had different minds. Different ideas. Okay, good. This is nice, Sophia. Solid. We have to put a little bit more detail, I think. Maybe some dialogue, some speaking. Okay? There's a restriction in chat. Oh, right. You can only send 200 characters. It's true. So you might have to send multiple messages. Multiple chat messages to fill up your opening. Okay. Let me send some grammar corrections because I'm writing here. Let's think. Let's start here with Hades. Yes, your homework is not all finished today, so write it in paper. Write it on paper, and the Michelle teacher will get your homework at another time. Okay? This is just in class. This is just some practice to get our writing in class. For your homework, you will write it on paper. Ooh, Sunjae, some nice vocabulary. I like this. Okay. It was winter vacation. I wanted to go to Lotte World. So my dad feebly woke up. Nice word. Feebly woke up and took me there. When I was riding a roller coaster, I got a glimpse of a game room. Nice. This is good. Feebly and glimpse. We're kind of understanding here. We understand the situation, the characters, the setting. Got a glimpse of a game room. It kind of gives me a curiosity about what's happening. I think maybe you cut it short because the character limit. We can add more here to give me more curiosity about what's going to happen next. Are you using your phone right now? It does seem hard. Yes. It's good practice. It's good practice to write English on your phone and on the English keyboard. It's very good practice to do. It's important when you learn a language. We live in a computer era, a time of computers and phones. So it's important that you can type in English as well, not just speak and not just write. Typing is also very useful. It's very important. Okay. Let's go on. Did I get everybody? No, I didn't get Jinhong. Jinhong, where's your opening? Did you write one? What is this? Yes. Jinhong, where's your opening? Yeah, it's good practice to do. That's good. It's hard, that means that you're learning. If it was easy, that means you're not learning. We don't want class that's easy. We want class that's hard, and then you learn. That's better. Jinhong, where's your opening? Also, Isabel, where's your opening? Send it in, send it in. Okay. I don't wanna wait too long. We have to talk about the middle. The middle is all right, here we go. Didn't taste. Alright, so here we have some Jinhong and Isabel. Okay. Definitely to see snow, but the kimbap. Ooh, kimbap. So I'm gonna see that your conflict maybe has to do with the kimbap. Okay. Good, way back home, ignoring the Kakinote. Okay. So we kind of have some opening, but here, really, really important. Okay, I'm gonna go back to here. We really need to have descriptive details. An interesting fact or a dramatic scene. This This is important here. I'm gonna underline this here. This here, descriptive details. This is very important so we understand what's happening. We don't want a summary. We want descriptive details, right? So tell me a little bit more. You lit the paper with a candle, made a big fire. Tell me more about how does the fire look? How does the fire smell? Like all these different things. What does it feel like to do this? Okay? Where are you in your house? We want these descriptive details so we can understand where we are. Okay? Tell me more about the concert here. Right? What does the concert sound like? Look like? It's probably loud. Describe the loudness of it. What does it smell like? Popcorn? I don't know. What does it look like? Is it bright or dark? Things like that. Okay? Make sure you tell me about these things. Amusement park here, went by bus. Okay, tell me more. What does the amusement park look like, sound like? Is it like Halloween? It's a haunted house? Like, is it fall or summer or winter or spring? I'm not really sure what to picture here. What does it look like on the bus? What does your friend say? Put some speaking, dialogue, so that we feel like where it is. Okay? Winter vacation looked well, this is pretty good. I like this. Feebly woke up and got a glimpse of the game room, but we need a little bit more things like description so that we can feel, we can understand where it is. Maybe some dialogue. Okay? On the highway, okay, is this a problem? Having kimchi in your kimbap is a problem? Is this the major problem in your story? You don't like kimchi? Fire smells like fire? Not always. Burning pine wood smells different from maple wood, smells different from oak wood, different from burning paper, different from burning plastic. They're all different. Okay? Stick to one story. Don't tell me too many stories. Just stick to one story. I just want plenty of descriptive details and the dramatic scene. Okay? Now, let's go back to this here. Middle paragraphs. Now, once we get past our opening, we have to tell the story in the middle. We have to understand the plot, cause and effect. This, then this. It's a sub-conflict. That's funny. Okay, we understand what's this, then this, then this, then this. Okay? Make sure in the middle paragraph we're building up from the opening into the climax, right? We don't want to have the most exciting part in the middle, or in the beginning. Some of you seem to put the most exciting part in the middle. Like Crystal, you started the fire right in the beginning. We want to start the fire closer to we want the most exciting part where the fire is big and burning, kind of closer to the end, right? Yeah, this is nice. We'll build up here, build up here, build up here. Right, so we want to also here, you want to put your exciting thing at the end. I'm not sure. This is like your resolution kind of, okay? Things like this. So we want to tell the events in order in which they happened. Supporting details, make it clear so we can understand, express the writer's personal voice. Use exact words, vivid words, good vocabulary to show us what something looks, smells, tastes, sounds, feels like, right? So here, same thing here, plot events about snowboarding, right? You took the snowboarding lesson, then learn to fall, then learn to slide and fall, right? I guarantee you will fall, yelled Mark, our instructor. So you have to know how to fall the right way. This news did not make me feel any better. Mark held his arms up in front of his chest, fists together, elbows bent. He said something about never sticking your hands and arms out straight. The words, "you might break your wrist," sent me into a cold sweat. When you fall, Mark continued, roll through your knees, up to your side, and onto your shoulder. This is good news, okay? Okay, good information. So, make sure here, when you are telling your story, make sure when you're telling your story here, in the middle. You're building up from the beginning into the climax. Okay, what happened, then what happened, then what happened, then what happened. You tell this whole story all together, okay? What's this? When is this live done? The hot steam was all in places, so I really wanted to go home quickly. And then the furry black cat came to me. I hardly ignored, my eyes shut tight. Ooh, nice simile here. My eyes shut tight like a car back trunk. That's nice. A very nice simile there. I like that. That's very descriptive. I can feel that. I can see that. Okay, very nice simile there. Very descriptive. Okay, yes, we do still have about 18 minutes left. Okay. So, revising details. We'll do revising details next time. Okay. Do you have any questions about this writing here? Any questions? You feel good about your topics? We have many different topics here. Seems like you have lots of different good ideas. Many good different ideas. You have openings. I'm going to say one more time, remember in your opening we want to have descriptive details, right? Don't rush too fast. Don't summarize the story in your introduction, right? Start with the descriptive details and give us questions, okay? Put dialogue in your opening. Have characters talking. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask me on the live chat, okay? Ask me questions on the chat. Otherwise, I want you to keep working. Write your opening one more time, okay? Try to fix your opening with the advice that I told you. Make sure you have descriptive details and dialogue. Make sure we can really see where you are. Don't rush the opening, okay? I'll give you some more time to that. Go back to your opening and rewrite. No, I didn't give you advice. This is pretty good. I like these details about where you are in the highway, things like this. I'd like to see more detail. I'd like to have dialogue too. Jinhong, you said your dad said that. Instead, put quotes. Make it dialogue. Make it speaking. What exactly did your dad say? Okay. Maybe we can be a little bit more descriptive about the kimbap didn't taste good. Right? Be a little more descriptive. What did it taste like? Be more descriptive, okay? What did it look like? Okay? You got out of the car and started to play. What kind of thing? Be more specific. What kind of play did you do, okay? Things like that. I want more details, more description. More specific. I'm still not really understanding what the conflict in your story is, but hopefully I'll understand that when you get through the middle of it. Okay? Right, if you rewrite your opening, then you can post it in the chat again, write it in the chat again. Yes, you should be rewriting your opening. Remember, descriptive details, dialogue, action. Don't tell the whole story.
How's it going?
Going well. We're doing some writing the opening of their story, things like that. So they're all contributing on the chat. We're getting feedback and stuff too. So, going well.
Okay.
Alright, yesterday I went to see the last snow. I bought 2 shovels, 2 buckets, and a book, just in case I got bored. Okay, that can be interesting. First 2 sentences. Okay. Note that when you're writing like this, you should say instead of 2, you should write TWO instead. So write like TWO instead of 2. Like this. Okay. That's interesting. Oh no, you still, you're early. This isn't your class yet, you still. You still, your class starts in like 20 minutes. Okay. When you rewrite your opening, send it again. I'd like to see your dialogue and your descriptive details so you can get some feedback before the class ends. That's why is the keyboard big? The other restaurant was closed. I barely got the keyboard. Oh, and I got some kimchi curry. Alright. Some nice dialogue. Nice dialogue to know. Okay. The kimchi kibbap seems to be an important part of the story. That's good. Okay. I feel tension. What's going to happen next? What's special about the kimchi kippap? Okay. Anybody else? Share your rewrite. Share your openings. I was in my house with friends. Everyone smelled something burning. It's something like tada. Then everyone knew what was happening. Oh. That is suspense. That's suspense. I kind of like that. I like that. I like that there's a little bit of mystery. I think we can make the mystery even more. Everyone smelled something burning. Everyone knew what was happening. Put some dialogue in it. Maybe someone says something. Maybe a little bit more description. Make it a little bit slower. It happened so quickly, everybody knew what was happening. Everybody knows what's happening, then the question's answered right away. We want a little bit more mystery. What's happening? Okay, I like it. I think it's good, but I think we can make it a little bit more mysterious, a little bit more specific also. But it's good. You guys are doing good. Who's next? Somebody else send your intro. Descriptive details. Try to use dialogue, right? Read this one again. This is a good example of an opening of a story. Jimin Park. What? Who is this? Who is Jimin Park? Alright, everybody. Let me write down your homework. Today is 2020-03-09. Homework. Your friend joined the... Okay, homework. 2020-03-09. Your homework is to finish your draft of your... what do we call that? Personal narrative. Finish your draft of your personal narrative essay. Write it on paper. Okay. Double spaced. All right. Oh, I have some more. Let's see, Sophia. Today I decided to go to Music Park with my best friend. After 2 hours, went to my bus, waiting with boy. Hello. So I said me too and let's go. Your friend said hello and you said me too. I'm also hello. You say hello. All right. Good. Some more descriptive details. You have some more details, but I want sense details. Like sight, sound, taste, smell, feel, things like that. That's kind of things we want to feel. Okay? Mine didn't look like any kimchi. When the car started to go outside to come. It is spicy. Like much more. The spiciest didn't go. Okay. I find I had different minds. Alright. As time is up for today, make sure you write down your homework. You just have one assignment. You have to finish the draft of your personal narrative essay. Write it on paper, double space it, and that's your story. Okay, that's your homework. Write your story, double space, write on paper. Make sure you write down your homework. You hand it in. Okay, that's it for today. Write it down, and then you can go. We'll start the next class. G5 over. Okay. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Double space means skipping lines. Okay, so make sure you skip lines. Double space. Haiti, don't say that in the chat. Okay.